Hey everyone, I'm Jasmine Leventhal, your certified yoga therapist, and welcome to my channel, Root Yoga Therapy. So we are here at 29 weeks pregnant, and this is again an exciting time. Full speed ahead into our third trimester, belly's growing, baby's growing, and we're inching closer to meeting our little one. So get ready, we have a wonderful, gentle practice today. Hop into something comfy and join me on your mat. Welcome back. So we are going to definitely need some props for this practice. 2 blocks. We're going to set up in that reclining position. So if you have something else similar that you're using instead of blocks to assist you, or if you have a pregnancy pillow, because we're going to be using the bolster as well. So you're going to have 2 blocks. We'll start them out this way. Take them in like a T shape. We'll just see how that works. Otherwise, we're gonna kind of stack this way. So actually, let's start here. We're gonna have 1 block on the highest height, 1 block on the lowest height. So you're kind of making this little angle so we can grab our bolster and lay it right down. And I know I've shown this before. As we head deeper into pregnancy, for a while now we haven't been able to lay on our back. So moms to be, we recline or we're laying on our sides. But let's go ahead and recline and use that as the modification to do some exercises that we would typically do on our back to get started. So I like to have this extra blanket. This gives me a little support around my neck. Some people like to actually have this at the base of their bolster to help support their hips. It depends where you're feeling tenderness. If you're feeling like your neck is really extended, you might want some extra support under the head. If you're feeling some discomfort around your hips and upper glutes, it might be nice to add some cushion onto your mat to, again, make it more comfortable. So once you have your setup, I'm gonna bring the base of my hips all the way back to the bolster. Knees are gonna stay bent and my head is gonna come down. Now, this feels really good to me, especially because it really allows for the belly and the ribs to start to open up. So it's already making my breathing a little easier. If you're used to sitting down and you're kind of feeling the weight hunching forward or pulling you forward, this is the reverse of that. So a really supported, gentle chest or heart opener that's allowing the front of the body to expand. So I'm gonna either 2 options for the feet. So either taking them as wide as the mat and then knocking the knees in. That'll release tension into the lower back. So if you're having some lower back stuff, that might be a good option. Otherwise, you can keep the feet planted, knees pointing straight ahead. I'm actually gonna take the variation just to knock the knees in because honestly, it's just a little less work than keeping the knees in line and the feet hip distance apart. Good, so hands can be off to the sides. With the palms face up, it's typically a more of receiving energy. And if you're feeling like a little anxious today, or maybe there's a lot of excitement, maybe there's some nervousness, and you kind of just want to come back to yourself, it's always great to place the hands on the body, 1 on belly, 1 on heart, to offer that sense of grounding and added support. So I'm going to choose to expand my hands out wide. That feels good to me today. But if you're somebody who wants more of that grounding sensation, please feel free to put your hands on your body. I like to take that sigh just as a reminder that I have made it onto my mat for today. And just working the breath gently in and out through the nose. If that's becoming challenging, just feel free to do whatever breath is comfortable for you. We have the pregnancy pass. So whatever is comfortable for you, we're on the mat, we're moving, we're breathing, we're connecting, we are doing our work, and that is wonderful. So whether you're breathing in and out through the nose or using your mouth to assist with your breath because maybe your nose is a little stuffed, you do want to still feel the expansion of the belly and chest on your inhale. So really allowing that diaphragm to function properly. And then on the exhale, feeling that gentle release of the belly down towards the spine. So again, inhaling, belly expands, ribs expand, chest expands. Exhale, navel releases down towards the spine. And just finding these nice fluid movements. It's fun because in these moments of stillness, we can catch baby moving around quite a bit. And just a side note, I've mentioned before, but as we continue to optimize our breath, we're actually bringing in a lot more oxygen for baby as well. So it could be a nice visual to work with, just seeing the influx of breath, oxygen, nutrients being transported to you and then again to your baby. Good. One more inhale. And nice long exhale. Good. You can keep the legs as is if the knees are knocked in. Otherwise, you're welcome to separate the knees and plant the feet hips distance apart. Releasing your hands down by your hips. Inhale, reaching the arms up and back, welcoming a deeper stretch into the shoulders and chest. Exhale, hands are going to release down by the hips. Good. As you inhale, once again, the arms are going to go up and back. Exhale, hands down by the hips. We'll take 3 more. Inhale, arms up and back. Exhale, hands down. And this is such a simple movement, but it really can create a lot of space around the shoulder girdle. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, let it go. Last one. Inhale, arms reach up and back. Exhale, letting it go. Good. Separate your feet as wide as your mat now. Go ahead and release your knees to one side, just working a little stretch into the hips. My knees are facing the right side, so if you want to practice knees towards the right edge, and then you'll already feel a nice stretch into that left thigh, left side of the belly. So with the left hand, so knees are pointing to the right. With the left hand, we're going to sweep the left arm across the body on the inhale. Start to take it up and back, getting a nice stretch around the side of our body and all the way down towards the hip. Good. Inhale, sweeping the arm across, up and back. Exhale, lowering it down. Good. Again, inhale, sweeping across. Up and back, exhale, down. Nice. Twice more. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Slowly bringing the knees back to center, keeping the feet just as wide. We're going to drop the knees over to the left edge, already feeling that nice stretch into the top of the right thigh, moving that stretch into the right side of the belly. I used to never really feel this stretch. So it's interesting, you know, as much as some of us might not feel how much pregnancy is changing our bodies, now I'm really starting to feel areas that have become a little tighter in my body. So, you know, just some things to notice. These small changes, sometimes they're big changes, but even the small changes, and important to really honor that. As you inhale, sweeping the right arm across the body, reaching it up, back, around, and down. Good. Inhale, right arm sweeps up, back, around, and down. 3 more. Inhaling, arm across, and then up, back, around. 2 more. Inhale, sweep the arm. And last one. Inhale. Nice. Pausing here. Gently bringing the knees back to center. And extend your left leg forward. Right knee is going to gently hug slightly outward. So right outside the belly, since we don't have as much space, my thigh kind of stops right here. So right outside the belly, you're just going to start to make those gentle circles. And they might not be as big as what you used to do. So just moving in your range of motion, doing what feels really good here. If having the left leg straight is bothersome on the lower back, you can always bend the knee and plant the foot down instead. That'll relieve some tension there. For me, it feels pretty good, so I'm going to continue to extend it forward. Good. And just switch the direction of the hip circles on the right side. Good, and then pausing here, bringing both hands behind the right thigh, take an inhale, extend the right foot upwards, exhale, bend the knee. And again, if it feels better to plant the foot with the left knee bent, that's fine. Inhale, lengthen the foot or right leg, and then exhale, bend. Good, 3 more. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, bend. Last 2. And last one. Good. Pausing here, setting the right foot down and bring the sole of the right foot to the inner left thigh. So coming into like a supine tree pose. As you inhale, reach the arms up and back, flex your left foot forward, find a lot of space here. It might feel good to interlace your fingers behind you and flip your palms towards the back of your mat. Good. 1 more inhale. As you exhale, releasing your hands all the way back down. Right hand's going to guide the right knee in and re-extend the right leg forward unless you're working with a bent knee. Placing your left knee in. Left knee is going to hug towards the chest. And then we're going to start to find those little circles. So with the left hand guiding left knee out towards the left wall, forward, inward. Good. And just working some circles into the hip. And switching your direction. Taking 1 more circle. Good, and then pausing in center. Both hands behind the left thigh. Inhale, reach the left foot up. Exhale, bend the knee. Good. Inhale, left foot lengthens. Exhale, bend. Inhale, lengthen the leg. Exhale, bend. Last two. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to bend. Last one. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bend. Good. You're going to softly land the left foot down. Sole of the left foot's going to come to the inner right leg. Flex into your right toe, so it's as if you're pushing your right foot towards the wall in front of you. Inhale, arms reach back. Interlace the fingers. Go one finger over. Flip your palms towards the back wall, taking a full breath here. And as you exhale, floating your hands all the way down by your legs, bringing your left knee in, and then both knees are going to rebend. Both feet are going to plant. Good. Shifting off to one side, and we're going to start to find your way in a side lying position. So you're going to maintain the bolster in the reclining variation. I'm going to scoot my hip to the base of the bolster, extend my left arm out to the left, and then I'm going to reach up and over with my right arm, okay? And then I'll switch sides and show you what it looks like on the other side. So if you want, you can rest your head down, you can keep the arm extended, you can place the head on the arm, you can use the hand to support the head, a million variations to keep your head and neck comfortable. Do whatever you need to do to make that so. And what we're looking for is a little more opening around the rib cage. So I know for me that oftentimes in the night, because I'm sleeping on one side or the other, my ribs are getting tight. Or if I'm spending some time driving in the car, my ribs are starting to feel really tight and compressed. So this is a great way to open the sides of the body. Good. As you inhale, I'm like, what am I going to do with this arm really? I think I'm going to do this. I think that's most comfortable for me. Okay, so as you inhale, we're going to sweep your right arm up and over. Exhale, right hand's going to land down by the hip. Good, so we'll take a total of 5, so 4 more rounds. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Inhale. Exhale. Good. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. And last one. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Pause here. Stretch your top leg straight. Lengthen the foot down. So pushing the foot forward so the toes are flexed toward the face and you're feeling your top leg engaged. Okay, so the right leg is nice and engaged. Left leg is still bent. Inhale, reach the arm up and back. And just find a lot of space from that right pinky finger all the way down to the right pinky toe. Breathing into those ribs, getting a nice stretch into your waist. Good. Take one more inhale. Exhale, releasing the arm all the way down by your hip, bending that top knee and restacking the knee. Good. I'm going to press myself up. For you at home, you're just going to switch sides, sweeping the legs through center and taking opposite hip onto the base of the bolster and draping yourself across that way. Because I don't want to have my back facing you for this particular variation, I think it's better view for you to see what's happening through the front of my body. I'm just going to switch the directions of my bolster here. So again, for you at home, you are just going to find that same variation on the opposite hip, and I will be meeting you there. So I've just set up my bolster on the opposite side. And bringing hip to bolster and having the knees stacked. It's really the knees that are important here to see, especially from the front, because if the knees are off, We could be compressing into our lower back or shifting our pelvis so it's not in neutral. So it's important that the knees are stacked. Find your variation, maybe heads resting into the upper arm. And then when we're ready, inhale, left arm's gonna float up and back. Exhale, releasing the hand down. Good, inhale, left arm reaches. Exhale, let it go. Inhale. Exhale. Twice more. Inhale. Exhale. And last one. Inhale. Exhale. Good. You're going to stretch the left leg forward, flexing the left toes towards the face. Inhale, reaching the left arm up and back. Nice full breaths here. Get that long stretch through the left side of your body. Last 2 breaths. Good. Inhale, reaching the arm. And exhale, hand lands. Bend the top knee, press off with the opposite hand, and finding your way back into your seat. So we can deconstruct our little reclining position here, or props, rather. And then I'm going to take my blanket, use that to support my knees, come onto a hands and knees position. And then once you're in hands and knees, rotate the hands. So let's rotate the fingertips towards the knees. So the fronts of the wrists are pointing forward. So that'll look like this from a frontal view. So you see how my arms are pointing forward, eye of the elbow pointing forward. And then we're gonna tuck our toes. Take an inhale here. Exhale, start to shift back any amount. Get a nice stretch into the wrists. So for those of you who have some wrist tension, wrist pain, this is gonna feel really good. Inhale, come to center. Exhale, hips to heels. This is kind of like a double whammy because we're tucking the toes. So the feet are getting a nice stretch too. And my feet, I know I've mentioned before, have really been causing me a little bit of discomfort. So shifting back. Good. Inhaling to come forward. Exhale, shifting back. Good. Again, inhale forward. Exhale, shift back. Good. Come forward. You can untuck the toes, revolve the hands forward, and we're going to switch. So this time we're going to tuck onto the tops of the palms. So fingertips again are pointing back, pressing to the tops of the palms, retuck the toes, and then shift back. Whew. I feel that all the way up my forearms. Good. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, shift it back. Good. Gently coming forward and shift it back. Good. Slowly releasing back to the palms of the hands and coming into a hands and knees position. Good. Untuck your toes. Take an inhale, drop the belly, lift the heart, find your cow pose. Exhale, round your spine. Inhale, finding your cow. Exhale, round. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Good. Inhale, come to your cow pose. And then shift your gaze back towards your right shoulder, maybe right hip. Feeling that stretch. Good. Next, exhale, come back through center, round your spine. Inhale, find your cow shape. Tilt your gaze towards the left shoulder, left hip. Spend a breath or two here. Next, exhale, come back to center, round your spine. Good. Inhale, center line. I'm going to walk my hands forward, press my hips back, finding my puppy dog pose. I like to separate my knees a little more here to give more room for belly. Good. If you want to stretch into your triceps, bring the palms to touch. Take prayer hands behind you at the back. If you can't do prayer hands, you can always have fingertips on the tops or tips of your upper back. Last 3 breaths. Good. Gently release the hands down. Start to walk your hands back towards your hips or your shoulders. And then we're going to come on to go ahead and grab one of your blocks. And we're going to sit right on that block. And that'll help relieve any tension around the knees. So we're going to come up, do a little side stretching, a little back bending here. As you inhale, you're going to come up onto your shins. Lengthen your right hand down, reach your left arm up. Big stretch. Exhale, releasing the hand, dropping the hips right back onto your block. Good. Switch. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Inhale. Hand can rest at the lower back if you want a little more support. If you have more space, you can climb it down the leg. Exhale, center and down. Good. Inhale, lift. Exhale. One more on each side. Inhale. Exhale. And last one. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Interlace your hands behind you at your lower back. Inhale, lift the chest. And just pausing here, finding that stretch across your heart. Maybe gaze up. Exhale, back to center. Release the hands. Good. Re-interlace your hands behind you. Go one finger over, taking an inhale. Lift your chest. Maybe gaze up. Exhale, release. Nice. We're going to slip off our block here. Set my block off to the side, or actually I'm going to put my blocks at the front of my mat. I'm going to set my foot through. So we're going to get ready for a hip stretch. Having the blocks at the top of the mat. If you're on just hands and knees, you can certainly put your blocks off to the side. Bring the blocks a little closer towards the shoulders, so a little further away from the outside edge of the mat. Taking an inhale, sweeping your right leg back. Exhale, step it forward. Now let's rotate your toes slightly towards the right edge of your mat. Drop your left knee back, sink into your hips a little bit, let that belly fall. I'm going to stay here. I find that when I go too deep, I have like some discomfort at the base of my belly. So for me, this feels good. This is where I'm comfortable. This is where I'm going to stay. Some of you might have way more space, and that's fine. You can come onto your forearms. You can remove your blocks and just be on your hands if you're not already. You decide. Good. I'm going to walk my hands over to the left edge of my mat. So the legs stay as is, just walking my hands over and forward, getting a little side stretch here. And slowly walking my hands back in line with my body. And then sweeping my right leg out and through. I'm going to land my right toes down. Good. Shift forward and backward on the ball of the foot, working a stretch into my calf. And again, very interesting where we find that we're tight in our body. I used to have what I thought was very open calves, and now I feel a lot of tension. So things shift, things change, and that's all good, but it's important to listen to our body, so not always assuming that we're the same as what we were before we were pregnant. Good. And releasing that right knee down, and we'll just move right into the left side, so walking the blocks a little closer together. Inhale, left leg back. Exhale, bring it forward. Rotate your left toes so they're pointing slightly towards the outside edge of your mat. And then start to drop your right knee back, sink forward into your hips a little bit. Good, and then walking your hands over towards the right edge of your mat. I'm going to walk them a little further out, deepen the stretch. Next, inhale, walk the hands back to center line. Sweeping the left leg out and through, land the toes down, and then just shift forward and backward on the ball of the foot. Good, one more. And release the knee down. Let's sit back into a child's pose. I'm going to widen my legs. I'm going to actually place one block where my torso is going to land, or my chest, and one block where my head's going to land. That's been feeling really good for me, so I don't compress my belly. The arms are going to stretch forward, breathing here. Good. Slowly coming back up. And then we're going to come into a seated position. So if you are feeling tighter in your hips, it might feel better to elevate your hips by sitting on a pillow or a bolster. You might just also want to sit on a blanket. I'm going to shift the direction of my blanket, make it a nice little square, pop my hips on, and we're going to take a seated tree pose. So extending your right leg out to the right, sole of the foot is going to come in. So very similar to what we did earlier on our backs, but now we're in a seated position. If you're feeling tension through the groin here, maybe some round ligament pain is being activated, you're going to go ahead and grab something to place underneath the opposite knee. Inhale, arms are going to reach up overhead. Exhale, shift your body over that straight leg and fold in. You do not have to touch your toes. Your hands can be alongside your leg if you might not feel as flexible. So just you decide. Good. Root down into your right hand, kind of gliding your chest open, sweeping the left arm up and over. Nice big side stretch. Inhaling. Exhale. Good. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Come all the way back to center. Ooh, it feels really open. I'm liking that. And bring the knee in. Left leg's gonna extend out. Right knee's gonna hug in, sole of the foot to the inside of the leg, flexing into the foot. Maybe a block underneath that opposite knee for added support. Inhale, arms reach forward and up. Exhale, rotate and fold in. So this is just a gentle rotation, nothing around the belly, but a really nice opening for this area of the lower back. So those muscles that support the lower spine, working all the way up into the rib cage. Good. Slowly climbing that left hand back up the leg. Right arm's going to spiral open. And then big inhale as you side bend. Stay here for the exhale. Good. I'm working my arms straight just to give me a little more space. One more inhale. Big exhale, come back to center line. Good, that feels really nice to me. Crisscross the legs, hopefully you feel that too. And let's roll this out. Inhaling through center, over to one side, back, around, center. Good, and just make this feel really juicy. Working into those back ribs, pretty simple movement. So if it feels good for you to close your eyes, go ahead and do that. And just switching the direction. Good, coming back to center. Take an inhale, reach your arms up overhead, crisscross at the forearms, grab opposite elbows, peel the elbows and biceps back, lift into your chest, find a nice broad stretch into your upper back. And then as you exhale, releasing your hands forward, folding in. Now again, if you want to create a little more space so the belly doesn't feel so compressed, I would just recommend staying on the hands. Some of you might feel more comfortable on the forearms, maybe arms stretched forward. You decide. I like it right here on the hands. So everyone's different. And starting to walk those hands back up towards your shins and then switch the cross of your legs. So just opposite shin's gonna come in front. Inhale, arms reach overhead, crisscross, opposite forearm in front this time. Grab up Grab your elbows and then peel those biceps back, lift into your heart. Nice full inhale here. Exhale, releasing your hands down and start to walk it forward. Any variation you practice with the opposite shin in front, please do that again now. And carefully walking your hands back towards your shin. Finding a comfortable seated position, we're going to begin to close off our practice. If you prefer to lie on your side, to go lay down or recline on your back, that's fine. You can rest in whatever position you like, and you can also stay there for however long you like. If you are going to finish off our practice today with a seated position, one hand's going to come to the heart, one hand to the base of the belly, and really just connecting and honoring the time we spend on our mat here. So moving back inward and feeling the ease and calm of the breath. And just knowing that you are so safe in this moment. It's this feeling of safety, grounding, and ease that we're going to want to bring into that labor and delivery room. So it's that reconnecting back with ourselves, reminding us of these sensations, the time that we spend on our mat, and seeing if we can recreate that experience when we are in the midst of it all. Finding those nice, smooth breaths, knowing that you're in control of your breath. And the state of your nervous system. We always have a way to return. If you're resting for longer, please continue. Otherwise, thank you so much for joining me. I look forward to continuing to share the practice with you. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I would love your support. And that way you can also be notified of any new and future videos we will be coming out with. Please keep me posted on your journey by commenting on this video. Feel free to ask questions, and I look forward to seeing you again. Namaste.